We do things differently, and we need to learn how to utilize these new mechanisms.
An educated and united public cannot be controlled. Get organized. Learn to be active. Nikki Haley's in the news a lot right now. And I think that the scrutiny is that's part of the reason why they're coming at her so hard. And like I say, I think that she's on board, she's in line to be the VP, and a lot of scrutiny is coming to her. And that's what happens when you become, more in the position to win, if you will. So that shows that she's in that position by how much scrutiny there has been on her, especially lately. Like she's big. Every other news story, Nikki Haley.
Attacks that Trump is waging against you are racist. I mean, look, I'll let people decide what he means by his attacks. What we know is, look, he's clearly insecure. If he goes and does these temper tantrums, if he's going and spending millions of dollars on TV, he's insecure. He knows that something's wrong. I don't sit there and worry about whether it's personal or what he means by it. At the end of the day, we're focused on the fact that we got to get our economy back on track. We got to get our kids reading again. We've got to secure this border once and for all. And he says, I don't want to secure the border. I passed the toughest illegal immigration law in the country. And President Obama sued me over it. So I know what it means to secure a border. I knew what it meant to keep South Carolinians safe. He didn't do the same thing. So let's start talking about what's real. And not
How ironic is it that they're asking her, is Trump's words racist? And she was just in the news recently saying that America is not a racist country. So, I mean, I guess you can argue, the country overall is not racist. Maybe you can say that. But, yeah, I mean, it depends on how you look at it, right? I mean, maybe she's saying that, the country itself, United States of America, is not necessarily racist as far as like the name United States or the official image of the United States. See, it's really hard for me to even find something that works. But trying to say that, there aren't people who are racist in the United States, I don't know how you can say that. And I would say there's a huge number of racist folks in the United States. I'm sorry, y'all, if y'all don't like those words. I mean, hey, reality is reality. So, but it's just ironic that, she was just in the news recently saying, America is not racist. And then you've got the reporters asking her, do you think Trump's comments are attacking you in a racist way? Let's play the beginning of this again. Freaking, are we gonna have to?
I've never laid my.
Goodness gracious, we gotta freaking go through an ad. It's the ad apocalypse.
Do you think that the attacks that Trump is waging against you are racist? I mean, look, I'll let people decide what he means by his attacks. What we know is, look, he's clearly insecure. If he goes and does these temper tantrums, if he's going and spending millions of dollars on TV, he's insecure. He knows that something's wrong. I don't sit there and worry about whether it's personal or what he means by it. At the end of the day, we're focused on the fact that we got to get our economy back on track. We got to get our kids.
And it's smart for her to bring it back to her campaign slogans or whatever, her platform or whatever, because, the cameras are going, they're going to use these as sound bites, and then it's going to get shared or whatever. So she quickly pivoted into her, her platform or whatever, which is really smart in this situation. She's like, I'm gonna let the people decide, if it's racist or not. So it's like, are these attacks racist? I'm gonna let the people decide, and then he's like, she does like kind of a personal attack back at him, and he's insecure, he's spending money or whatever. I mean, I don't think that Trump is insecure in his position because he's a front runner by huge. There's a huge fucking swath of distance between her and him. in the polling numbers. So, but she's like next down. I think she is next down. So, I mean, you don't have anybody else to attack. You know, you got the primaries going on, and she is his competitor. So it's kind of like shooting down, if you ask me. And like I say, she's very likely to be on the ticket. Let's read a little bit. It says Donald Trump used his social media platform Friday to mock Nikki Haley's birth name, the latest example of former president keying on race and ethnicity to attack people of color, especially his political rivals. Who wrote this? Bill Barrow, January 19th, 2024. The attack comes 4 days after the New Hampshire primary, in which Haley is trying to establish herself as the only viable Trump alternative in Republicans' 2024 nominating contest. Trump's post was an escalation of recent attacks in which he referenced Haley's given first name, though he misspelled it Nimrata, and falsely asserted she is ineligible for the presidency because her parents were not U.S. citizens when she was born in 1972. The attack echo, so she's pretty young right there, 1972. Yeah, that's so she's way younger than like everybody else in the Ramaswamy's young too, but I didn't realize how young she was. The attacks echo Trump's birther rhetoric against President Barack Obama. Trump spent years pushing the conspiracy theory that the nation's first black president was born in Kenya and not a natural born U.S. citizen, as required by the Constitution. That effort was part of Trump's rise among Republicans' most culturally conservative base ahead of his 2016 election that surprised much of the U.S. political establishment. Yeah, I don't know if it really surprised much of the U.S. political establishment, but this is how they move. And it's crazy to me how people can have such a short memory and stuff like this. And they were really hardcore on this, Obama's a Muslim, Obama's born in Africa, and all of this stuff. And it's like, I don't understand how people can forget these things. And then when they say something else and they that's outlandish like this, and then they support them and they think that is true, it comes out that these things are not true as time goes on, but they keep coming back with stuff like this that's clearly not true, and people support them, and then they forget. Like, it's like what I say about the retractions that the media does. Like the damage is done. The lie spreads way faster than truth, and a lot of these media establishments don't have no integrity, so they don't say it as loudly that they weren't correct about something. And then you have a huge swath of the population who only heard the lie part and never heard the retraction part, and they still believe the stuff to be true. And it's crazy because if it was true that Barack Obama was born in Kenya, then there was no way that he would be able to be the president, which he served 8 years in the White House. But I'm willing to bet you can find some people who still believe that this is true. Well, how could it be? Wouldn't they have thoroughly investigated that and made sure that it wasn't true? You can't just have, stuff that's going completely against the Constitution. Someone that's born in another freaking country being your freaking president, and then you just letting that slide. But then you say that to people and they'll be like, whatever, I don't know what they would say as a result. Like, he's African, he's a Muslim. It says Haley has dismissed Trump's latest attacks as proof that she threatens his bid for a third consecutive nomination. I don't think that she's a real threat. It's just that she's the next one. She's his competition. But things do switch really quickly within the primary sometimes, but I really just don't see it happening. I don't see that happening. It says, I'll let the people decide what he means by his attacks, Haley told reporters in New Hampshire on Friday when asked about Trump's false assertions that her heritage disqualifies her from the Oval Office. What we know is, look, he's clearly insecure if he goes and does these temper tantrums. If he's spending millions of dollars on TV, he's insecure. He knows that something's wrong. Trump's campaign did not reply to an inquiry about his comments. Since Monday's Iowa caucus, which Trump won by 30 points over Ron DeSantis, who placed second, so DeSantis got second. Okay, so that means Haley had to come in behind DeSantis. Haley has aimed to portray the rest of the GOP primary battle as a two-way race between Trump and herself, despite her narrow third-place finish. Haley's campaign is aiming for a stronger showing in New Hampshire, hoping for a springboard into her home state, South Carolina, which holds the South's first presidential primary next month. For his part, Trump bounced between declarations that the nominating fight is already effectively over and blasting Haley as if the two are indeed locked in a tight contest. Trump still criticizes his other remaining rival, DeSantis, but his preferred pejoratives for the Florida governor, Ron DeSantimonious or Ron DeSanctis, have nothing to do with race or ethnicity. DeSantis is white. Freaking those nicknames that Trump gives these people are hilarious. Hilarious. This dude is like snappy when it comes to that shit. You know, I don't know. What does he sit up at night? He's like, what am I gonna call him? Ron DeSanctimonious. That sounds pretty good. Ron DeSanctis. That sounds pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna use that. What do you guys think? I ain't gonna lie, I love Trump for that shit. That shit is hilarious to me. Biden and Netanyahu have finally talked, but their visions still clash for